Hello and welcome to Ham Nation, episode 562, December 20th, 2023. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for coming on out, clicking on the Ham Radio Crash Course, now home of Ham Nation. Really appreciate you taking the time. Hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. Hopefully you're like me and just now getting into that holiday break period so I can start unwinding a little bit. What a great way to unwind, but with my friends here on Ham Nation. So let's say hi to our hosts. Very festive. Everybody's really feeling it this year. It is awesome. We'll start there at the top, the center of the pyramid, with Gordon West. How are you doing, Gordon?
Well, I'm fine. We have a little bit of rain, and we are celebrating. It's holiday time.
We are getting some rain. I ran out to do a little bit of radio stuff, and I had a window there right before picking up the kids where it stopped raining, and now it's kicked back on. So we'll take it. In California, you know what we say. We need all that rain we can get. So.
We need the moisture. That's
Dawn with the best sweater of the week. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks. It's going to be rainy Christmas Eve pretty much all day, and then a little bit Christmas morning, but it's supposed to be really nice. It's going to be around 70 degrees. Yeah, let me show you my sweater. This is my very first ugly sweater. It says, "Oh, snap," and there's a really good reason. The gingerbread man, he's got a bit of a problem. I love this sweater. My very first ugly sweater. Hey, we got Dr. T by way of video tonight. She's going to be talking about, hopefully, I haven't really seen what she's talking about yet. I was very, very busy before the show putting this and a couple of radio commercials together, but I'm sure she's going to be covering all the stuff that's going on with the solar, and I think Gordon's going to be talking about that as well. And of course, the news of the week from Amateur Radio Newsline. It's going to be a full show, and we're so glad that you're joining in early for our little Christmas party. It's just for us, the cool kids. Right, yeah. Josh?
Absolutely. Big show we had a big solar event. We obviously have a ton of events this weekend.
Yeah.
I know just on the YouTube side, I'm going to be jumping all around like crazy, but we've got a lot of ham radio events too, and we're going to be talking about Winter Field Day as well, right, Amanda?
We absolutely are, not to mention the 12 Days of Christmas.
That's right.
My favorite.
That's going on right now.
I absolutely love that. And yes, it is going on right now. If you're not on the bands, you better be on there because Lou and Sally are going to tell you about it. Next, don't forget, over New Year's Eve, there's always the CW overnight. So that's a big event.
That's all straight key, right? If I remember
straight key.
That is.
Yep.
It's the straight key night.
Yep, straight key night.
And don't forget, we have Youth on the Air all month long, and I've seen a ton of them spotted all over the world, not just the United States. So we have so many events going on this during the Christmas time. So if you're on vacation, get on the dang air. Get on the air. Okay, well, don't forget, I'll be watching chat, so will Josh, because I'm going to be talking and questioning a lot tonight. But you tell us about events that I've missed, by the way. And we're going to break right into it to Lou and Sally Maggio. Hello. How are you guys doing?
Hi. Good. We're very busy now with 12 days. It's, oh my God, it's the best year ever.
I heard. So everybody, if you didn't know, Sally has coordinated for the last 5 years the 12 Days of Christmas. Now, I think it kind of falls in line with the 13 colonies, right, Sally? You kind of got that in mind when you put it together?
It's kind of the same thing. I wanted to get originally the 12 Days of Christmas, starting Christmas and going to New Year's. But all the call signs were taken that I wanted, so I decided to go before Christmas. So I was able to get all the W2 call signs. And for some of the days that have like pipers and partridge is 2 Ps, so I did from W, I went to a K. So I have W's and just K's for the duplicates. And this year I have bonus stations up in Canada. And I got special call signs for them from Lou knows who.
Yeah, the guys that we did the certificates for VOA, and they helped us out getting the special call signs from Canada.
For Canada.
And they gave us, they're kind of cryptic. They gave us VE9 Xmas 1 and VE9 Xmas 2. So I hope everyone can get that. But they were great. Yeah. The Canadians did and they're doing a great job.
Yeah, they were a husband and wife team. I'm sure you know them, Lynn and Linda. They do Parks all the time.
Parks on the Air, Canada. You got to know them. They're
always on. So they are on from morning till night. They plan their whole day around operating. I have really dedicated operators. I have some that are from the beginning when I started, and this year I have 5 new operators.
Wow.
Yeah.
And from different states, like all over. It's not just in New England.
John is in California. John, Amadeo, you know him. And I have Wisconsin. I have Ohio. I have Maryland. I have Nebraska. I have Arizona, even. I have, who else do I have? Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina. I have quite a few operators. And I have 2 new ones this year that one guy does like 900 a day. So I always move him around to different days to keep the numbers up because I don't like getting emails.
Yeah. Of course.
Where is this one? Where is that one?
So everybody's working towards this, and you can get a certificate for just working one, but you also can get a clean sweep, correct?
Yeah, that's for 12. That's for the 12 days. Okay. If you want a clean sweep plus, that's a new one this year, you have to work one of the 2 bonus stations.
Okay. And you have a cool little like cheat sheet so everybody can mark it off. Yeah.
Yep. You can go to Sally's website, Sally's QRZ page, K2RYD, and download the cheat sheet and check it off. And we actually used it. We both got the clean sweep.
Did you really?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I go for it also. That way I even get to talk to the operators because, we don't chat or anything. We just do Discord.
And we use Discord a lot.
Oh, and here's my certificate.
Here's the cheat sheet filled out from us.
All right. So Lou, you put together, and he's done this, by the way, everybody, he's done this multiple times for multiple events. This awesome certificate that you get an email link that says you're available to go download this. And Lou is the magic behind it all. So Lou, tell us what do you do to make this work?
Basically, we ask whoever the special event is that's running, we ask them to do a 8.5 by 11 PDF of what they would like the certificate to look like. We tell them don't put any of the digital stuff on. Some of them think they know how to do that, and we stop them. And then we add all the digital, the check boxes, the call signs, little flags that come up, whatever. We add that stuff to there, and then after the event is over, they send me the ADIF files. From that, I'm able to put together an email list of everyone that is eligible for a certificate. We send the email list out, and then on the email list is a link that lets you come and download your certificate.
Fantastic.
And it works great. And again, we don't throw anything away. So people that have old certificates, they can come and get them if they lose them. And today we had 2. So it's pretty common. But it's great. And I think we've done over 250,000 certificates have been downloaded since we started doing it.
So, Sally, how many contacts has the 12 Days of Christmas made so far?
So far, last year we had like 17,000. This year,
wow.
That was for the whole thing. This year, so far, we have about 20,000.
And how many days do you have left?
We have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Okay, wow. So you guys are going to...
We have one operator on Christmas Day. He'll go on and do an hour and a half of each call sign because not all operators operate on Christmas. So he'll go on and he'll just go through the numbers. So if anybody needs a clean sweep, he's there for them.
And then what are the odds? What are the odds that 2 of us were born on Christmas?
What?
Oh, wow.
So, myself and Karen were born on Christmas. So
congratulations.
Oh,
thank you.
Karen, KB2GUT?
Yep.
Okay.
We got the special call sign K2B, and we go on the air Christmas Day, Karen and I, and we just work as many people as want to say happy birthday, and then they get a special certificate.
Yeah. Oh, that is so cool.
300, 400.
Yeah, it's usually about 300. It's not, we jump on and off as we have time. Yeah. But we always get a pile up as soon as we get on, and it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Now, Lou, if people want to contact you about their special event and how you could help with their certificates and the downloading and the server end of it, how could they contact you?
Okay, let me just make one thing clear.
He's not fully retired yet.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. There is no charge for us to do this. We do this for free. This is hams helping hams. So there is no fee, no charge. We do the certificate thing. You're going to have to design the certificate. I mean, we're not going to do the graphics. You have to design the certificate, send us a PDF, and then I'll put the electronic links up on it. But there is no charge. I want to stress that no charge, because that's the number one question I get asked. What are you going to charge us? Nothing. In fact, there's one coming up. I can't tell you about it because they swore me to secrecy, but it's a really, I can't talk about it. It's a real cool special event.
I want to go out there and operate.
It'll be in October, but I can't tell you any more than that. And they called me yesterday, and their first question was, how much is this going to cost us? I said nothing. So that's number one. My call sign, NO2C, or you have my address, Lou_Maggio@hotmail.com. Yep. Just email me. We'll set up a phone call. Please call me before you decide on the way you're going to run your special event, because I have to tell you, if John Amadeo had done it his way, he would have had 100 contacts, not 88,000.
Well, Mandy, you were involved with that.
Yes.
I was, and I had the most fun time ever doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we did the Air Force. We did the Air Force Mars. Just finished up there. It's 22,500 Qs. They only wanted to run for 1 day or 2 days. And I talked them out of it. So I stress to people, give me a call first before you get too crazy with your
you need to be part of the planning situation. You are part of the planning situation. And then the other thing is that, the only thing I thought it was cool, but it was unnecessary with Last Man Standing, is that they also sent out QSL cards, and they had to receive 80,000 envelopes.
That was a little. See, I don't accept QSL cards.
Yeah, we put on there. Now, no one's going to read the fact. When you put on your QRZ page, do not send the QSL card. That translates into send me a QSL card.
Because I still,
come to the conclusion.
Now, mind you, too, I print QSL cards, so I'm passionate about it. But I understand in a huge event like that, the person in the receiving probably cannot deal with 80,000 SASEs.
They have no idea what's coming. Yeah. When the guy from the Air Force, when the guy from the when we do any of the events, and the guy from the Air Force said, I don't want to get embarrassed. I don't want to do this. I said, you have no idea what's coming your way. You have no idea. So after 5,000 Qs on the first day, he changed.
Wow. Lou and Sally, is there anything else you want us to know about this special event?
Well, we expect all you guys to work us as soon as we get off the air here.
Yeah. Just, every call sign is on every single day on different bands and modes. Well, it's only CW and sideband.
Yeah.
And just keep your eye on the cluster, because they're on all the time.
They are. Yeah, look at those clusters.
Yeah, they're on it from like 6 o'clock in the morning until about 11 or 12 at night. Then they go. Then James is one of my operators.
James.
Poda James.
Poda, he's on all the time.
Yeah, he goes out at night to operate. He's the night
you
owl.
need your night owls.
Yeah, he's my night owl.
And a lot of them are doing parks. They're operating from parks, so they get to do POTA and 12 days at the same time.
So it's really good. I have 26 operators. That me and Lou were only rovers this year because I had no room for us. But when there's low, I try to keep the numbers even. So if there's like 2,000 on one and 1,600 on another, I go on, and operate.
Sure. So you're kind of just like the fill-ins. But by the way, they make it sound minimal, everybody listening and watching. But Lou and Sally have a hell of a station. I got to tell you.
No, not really. We just have
they sound good.
Player and a 43-foot zero vertical with 4,000 feet. Lou loves it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have 4,000 feet of radio. And Gordon, you'll love this. We do a lot of QRP, which to us means
100 watts.
100 watts. and or most of the time we're cranking it.
No.
He's
the crank. No, he's the crank.
That's great.
Get down to 600 because I don't want people to hear me and then I can't hear them.
The whole trick, as you guys know, I don't have to tell you this, but you have to be able to control the pileup. And
right.
If you can't control the pileup, you're not going to be able to have a good run.
I go on I look for frequency. I say, is this frequency occupied? And I hear the call signs coming at me already. They must know.
They hear her voice.
They kind of do know, Sally. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Her Brooklyn accent, it's goodbye. As soon as she says, is this frequency in use? Bang, they're calling.
Me and James get along so well. We're both from Brooklyn.
Yep.
We lived in the same neighborhood, actually, but never knew each other.
That's so cute. Well, thank you for being on here tonight.
Oh, no, thanks for having
us. Yeah, I can't appreciate it enough. And Merry Christmas to you, too.
Thank you.
And thanks for all you do for the amateur radio hobby.
Gordon, if it wasn't for your books, I wouldn't be a ham radio
That's true.
operator.
Actually, we still
very
have
nice.
certificates you signed. When I ran into you, you signed certificates for Sally because she had gotten her license from your books.
Yeah.
I remember.
Thank you for that.
Oh.
And don't forget Christmas Day. I expect all you guys to be calling me. It's K2B. So.
Yeah, but
I'll be
happy
there.
birthday, Lou. All right. Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us on, and we got a lot of work to do, so.
Okay, well, stick around if you want. If not, you can hang up. But thanks for being here. Gordo, we're going to send it to you. What you got going on, Gordo?
Okay. Can you pull it?
Well, we had a wild Wednesday last Wednesday. So, Josh, if you want to go ahead and bring up the shots, and we'll tell you all about last Wednesday. First of all, on Wednesday evening was the Geminids meteor shower, and it turned out to be a real winner for ham radio operators. Not so much for those of us locally that could not see all of the Geminids because of all the local LA lights. But let me tell you, there was a couple of slow burners that really got our attention when we were also doing a boat parade at the same time. So the Geminids meteor shower is a great one for those of you on 6 and 10 meters to make a quick contact. And when we'd have a slow burner like this, we'd look at the display on our transceivers, and here's what it would sound like on a slow burn.
Uniform Charlie.
Just a complete pileup, and as soon as that meteor would go overhead and so on, you'd watch your HF or VHF radios display, and then they would just all disappear until the next one. So Geminids was a good one. Well, the next morning, on Thursday morning, a major X.2.87 solar flare that peaked at 17:02 Zulu, and that is California time, just when we were in the middle of one of our nets. It came from Sunset Region 3514, and it was a major eruption. Well, this is not a shot necessarily of that particular one. It's coming up. But it's to point out that you never know what's going to happen on the sun. Many years ago, Susie and I and others went up to Idaho to watch the total solar eclipse, and we were just fascinated by listening to WWV and so on what occurs during the solar eclipse. And here's Tamitha. Thanks to Dawn, Tamitha is going to be telling us likely about all that happened last Thursday when we had a major solar flare that really affected the radio. So this all has to do with the sun. And many times the sun will send out a tenfold increase in energy, and that energy increase sometimes comes at the speed of light, so there's not a lot of advanced warning. And these huge flares happen when a powerful magnetic field in and around the sun reconnect. And they're usually associated with active regions that we saw as a sunspot hole a couple days before. Well, the classification of flares are a C flare, a B flare, an M flare, and the biggest is an X flare. We haven't had an X flare for many, many years. So this was the largest X 2.8 flare that we've ever had since August of 2011. This was a major one. And the last X-class flare affected all sorts of satellites and things like that. So we were prepared for a follow-up of charged particles, but luckily they did not happen. But there you can see the combining of the magnetic fields, and this energy travels at first at the speed of light, and then the slower charged particles that Tamitha will likely tell us about comes about 48 hours later. Look at this. Look at that one flare. It almost looks like a person's face if you look at it. Well, if you looked at it, you couldn't see it with your eyes, but you could sure watch your scope on your transceiver. There was a blackout that lasted for about 40 minutes over all of the United States as well as South America. And if you look carefully, we're up in the green area up at the top, and it was significant enough to affect us for about 25 to 30 minutes. And we encourage all of you that if you've got a transceiver, or you're going to get one for holiday season coming up this Monday, get one with a color display, waterfall display, because here was our net on 7250. And as they were conducting the net, the 7250 net at 8:30 California time, at about 9:02, all of the signals, including those two on the right-hand side, which were foreign broadcast signals from Asia, all of a sudden the display looked like this. Whoa, what the heck happened? Hams all over the country went outside and going, well, the antenna's still standing. Yep. What is going on? And then about 30 minutes later, the screen finally turned back into real live signals coming on. So we owe this all to Mother Nature and the sun. So next time you're out there and you don't have cloudy weather as we do, and you see the sun, or maybe even a pair of suns during a tropospheric ducting event that we had in SoCal earlier in the year, you'll say, wow, the sun can do many things, and one of them is to turn off HF refraction off the ionosphere. And here's the interesting part. Then we'll go back to Amanda. It also turned off with the solar flare blackout, the radio blackout. It turned off the capability of 10 miles away on 40 meters direct contacts. In other words, direct, not skywave, but direct. So, wow, when we have solar flares like we just had last Thursday, be prepared that all of the HF bands, and you'll hear Ham saying, well, it's good to have an alternate band. No, the bands from 160 to 10 meters were absolutely dead. Every single one we tuned through for about 30 minutes. And we're still waiting to hear what's happening to satellites and things like that. But this was a mama. Spaceweather.com. It's free. You don't have to subscribe to it for its super alerts, but they're good. But just tune in, spaceweather.com, and you'll see all there is when it comes to solar activity. Amanda, back to you.
Well, thank you, Gordo. Josh, did you see any questions in there, or did you have any comments?
Everybody's talking about the experiences were. I've been messing with my internet trying to figure out what's going on. We're having a bit of an issue, so you guys just keep going. But
so
yeah, we're still rolling.
There are things that I noticed. First of all, 10 was pretty open, which was nice for the weekend. Gordo, what did you see anything open compared to just blacked out?
What we saw, Amanda, was 10 minutes before the actual radio blackout. We saw shortwave stations in Asia pop up that normally disappear mid-morning here in Southern Cal due to the D-layer absorption. We saw them grow exceptionally stronger and stronger. In fact, on the net, we were saying about 3 minutes before the radio blackout, wow, the foreign broadcast is like coming back on the air. And then all of a sudden, Nothing. And everybody's like going, what the hell happened to my antenna?
Yeah, where to go? Did my antenna fall? I mean,
right.
that was kind of the things is I think nets that I'm used to were, well, first of all, Friday night I tried to run a net and I only had 13 check-ins. First of all, I always have 50 on this net. And it was all relay based. So anyone can probably comment. I'm trying to look through chat here, but let us know what your experience was because the real life scenario is helpful, right?
That's right. And we encourage all of you that if you've got a radio with a waterfall display, watch that display because during Geminids, you'd see things pop up and then disappear instantly. That was a Geminids reflection.
Now, Gordo, did you listen to the Geminids and on your radio? Okay.
We did.
That's hard.
What that is a refraction off of an aurora during, not the Geminids, but during the second part of the activity on the ionosphere. And that is aurora signals. That CW was the only way of getting through. So pretty interesting, all that happens in the ionosphere.
Now, and it's funny that you mentioned that, Gordo, because Mike and Marv are going to be up here talking about Winter Field Day, and this is their whole thing. Their whole purpose is get out and see what you can contact. Even if it's one of these solar storms, we want to make sure that you can somehow establish communication. So that's part of the learning lesson, right? We don't just turn on our rig and go to 20 meters and turn our beam because that's not going to work this time around. What else can we do?
That was a radio blackout, and that was recorded up in Alaska. Hearing stations down here going, what in the world is going on? So pretty amazing last Wednesday.
Well, Gordo, I guess we need to figure out how else we can figure out communications. Do you have the answer? I don't think I have the answer.
Signals?
Smoke signal. Not in California.
What are the bands that are most effective during a meteor shower, Gordo?
On the meteor shower, Josh. 10 meters and 6 meters are the hot bands. 15 usually not, but on 10 and 6, we were watching the scope and all of a sudden seeing nothing on the waterfall display, and all of a sudden about 15 signals would come up and then would just slowly die away about 5 to 10 seconds later. And that's where you heard all the doubling that we heard earlier.
Sure. But do you know what you don't need on 6 and 10 during this kind of situation is power. You barely need an antenna. So
aiming the antenna in the direction of the most likely signals, and we tuned on 50.125 to hear all sorts of voices doubling, and we also on 10 meters 28,400 right in the middle of the band for techs on up. And again, when a meteor reflection would occur, you'd see all these signals come up on the band, 5 or 10 kilohertz either side, then they'd all sort of disappear. And it only lasted for about 10 to 15 seconds.
Isn't that wild? That's crazy. And so it's like working a satellite. QSO, in and out. Do it.
That's it.
No chit-chatting allowed.
No, not at all.
Okay, Josh, how about you? Are you good now?
Oh, yeah, we're fine.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
great.
I'm sorry. You said you were figuring something out. So
I said we're rolling. We're good. Everything's fine.
Okay.
No, we got the questions in there that I wanted to hear because I assumed it was 6 or 10. So,
Yeah, that's what I was guessing too. All right, Josh, give us what's Icom up to this week?
Searching for the perfect holiday gift? This holiday season, make your gatherings merrier, your message clearer, and your connection stronger with Icom. Whether inside the ham shack or on the air in the great outdoors, Icom has what's at the top of your favorite ham's wish list. The ID 5100AD is innovation and mobility taken to the next level. Designed from user input, the ID 5100AD offers an intuitive user interface experience with an industry-leading touchscreen display. This radio is one of the most advanced dual-band mobiles on the market today. The ID52A is a VHF-UHF dual bander with D-Star and FM dual functions and is the first handheld amateur radio with a full-color 2.3-inch waterfall display. The new ID50A gives hours of fun and enjoyment working your favorite bands. Easy D-Star settings, band scope and waterfall display, voice messaging, share picture function, and it uses the same optional accessories as the ID52A, ID51A, and ID31A. Explore the world of microwave with Icom's new SHF portable, the IC905. This all-mode rig covers 2 meters through 70 centimeters, 1.2 gigahertz, 2.4 gigahertz, 5.6 gigahertz bands, and with the optional CX10G transverter, 10 gigahertz. Aim higher and enter the world of SHF. The IC7300 is a high-performance, innovative HF transceiver with a compact design that will far exceed your expectations. This is the radio that changed the way entry-level HF was designed. The real HF fun starts here. For the mobile and outdoor aficionados, Icom's IC7100 is road ready. At home or wherever you roam, happy holidays from Icom. For more information about Icom's amateur radios and to locate a dealer, visit icomamerica.com/amateur.
Hey, huge thank you to Icom for sponsoring Ham Nation. We really do appreciate it. You've been waiting. I think that's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for me to tell you who won this radio, right?
Winner.
That's right. That's right. Every time we're live, there's a link in the description. You can go to hamnation.icomamerica.com, and if you click that Enter Now button, you'll be entered into a swag pack giveaway. We pick 3 winners every time we are live, and I'll just tell you who those winners are for this show. Daniel B, K0DFB, Kevin G, NZ1I, and Nico T, KE8YHX. So congratulations on that, but at the end of the month, Icom gives away one of their amazing radios, and I love the animation on this website. Good job, guys. But this month, being the last month of the year, they always do something special. As you see, we did the 5100 last month. 52A is this month, and the winner is Michael G, NY1U. Congratulations, you have won.
Winner.
That's it. That's
Nice.
it. So congratulations on that. I got a couple of things I'm going to hit right now real fast. First, let's see. Where was I? Yes. So that's my upload speed, 97 megabits per second. I should not be having any problem with the packets or the frames. We're losing a frame here and there. I don't know why. So for everybody that's sticking with us, I appreciate it. We will sally forth. Also, this Friday, I got a busy Friday. I'm going to be on Ham Radio 2.0's channel. We're going to be talking. I actually don't know what we're going to be talking about. It's a bit of a surprise, but I'll be on there in the morning time for me, 10 a.m. my time over at his channel, having fun. I can tell you that for sure. And then we're going to have maybe a little bit crazier, different type of fun. Later that afternoon, I'm going to be over on Ham Radio Tube's channel. Now, last year, if you'd been following me through last year, we did a live stream where he went for 9 hours. I did not.
Wow.
I did not do 9 hours. That's absolutely crazy. But 5 p.m. local time for me. I'm going to be over at Ham Radio Tube's channel. But this year, we did something kind of fun. We got working with the ARRL, specifically that tall gentleman, and yes, that is an active representation of how big this gentleman is. That's Steve, K5ATA. He's been on Ham Nation. He filled in as one of our guest hosts. He is a part of the Teachers Institute at the ARRL. These are programs that he puts together along with some of the great people over at the ARRL that bring teachers in, study them up in what amateur radio is. Oftentimes they end up getting their license. They leave with equipment that they can actually use in a syllabus that includes amateur radio as part of it for their children back in their classrooms for like STEM type training. It's all STEM, right? So the Teachers Institute, you can actually donate directly to it at the ARRL, and that's exactly what we're doing. This charity is going to be for the Teachers Institute, for the ARRL, specifically going to Steve and the fantastic work he does. Again, go look at any of the stuff he's done for the ARRL, all the talks he's done, everything on his social media channel, anything Teachers Institute related. We're going to be going for as long as we can. I can't guarantee 9 hours. I don't know that Mike is either. But it's going to start at 5 p.m. All the proceeds go direct to the ARRL. It's not like Super Chats where, YouTube takes 30% or whatever. It goes straight to them. We don't touch it. The charity, it's totally locked in. It's totally squared away. It's going to be a fantastic time. So if you're feeling giving on the Friday before Christmas break, join us over there. It's going to be a fantastic time, and we appreciate you doing that. So anyway, there's my comments. I will pass the mic on to Don because I'm ready to hear some news.
I got to tell you, Josh, that is a great thing to do because you can't. We're all gonna be gone eventually, us old farts, and I'm 63 now, so 64 next year. Yeah, September, so it's 20. Yeah, I'm 63. I have to think. That's how old I am. I've got to think about it. So, and it's the youth that's going to take over, and that's what Bill Pasternak, WA6ITF, was all about with the Young Ham of the Year award, and it's what those guys with the Youth on the Air is all about, and a bunch of other people who work directly with youth and ham radio. So, great cause. If you can donate to that, please, by all means, do. Let's go ahead and get into the news of the week from Amateur Radio Newsline, and we'll hear from Dr. T with the solar update right after that. So here we go. From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2407, this is Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, December 20th, 2023. First up this week, action by Ofcom in the UK, where sweeping changes are proposed for everything related to amateur radio, from call signs and power levels to the terms under which a notice of variation is needed.
A general notice from Ofcom has alerted radio amateurs in the UK to various licence changes the regulator is proposing. Licence variations are being proposed starting in February, affecting the use of regional secondary locator suffixes and unlicensed individuals' use of an amateur radio. Power limits would also be raised under certain conditions for foundation, intermediate and full licensees. Additional changes proposed for later in the year include more flexible approvals for special event stations and replacement of the issuance of the intermediate license Series 2 call sign with M8 and M9 instead. Changes to occur in late 2024 or early 2025 include the ability to change one's call sign periodically, but no more than once every 5 years. A full list of the vast array of changes, including in June of this year, is available on the regulator's website. Ofcom is encouraging representations to be submitted on these proposals no later than 5 p.m. local time on the 22nd of January. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
The new year is bringing a major change as well for amateurs in Australia.
The Australian Communications and Media Authority will be moving to a class licence format as previously announced, starting on the 19th of February. This removes the annual renewal fee and gives the regulator responsibility for examinations and licence issuance. Those tasks were previously assigned to the Australian Maritime College in Tasmania. Hams with non-assigned amateur apparatus licences can expect to hear from the ACMA in January, when they'll be provided with guidelines for the transition arrangements and learn their highest qualification level and call sign. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
Those of us who know that there's another way to get on the air now have a place of their own, a spot for radio amateurs who are also aviation enthusiasts.
It's called the Flying Hams Network. Its founder, Daniel Heilman, WX5WX, has discovered that it combines his love of radio and aviation very nicely and connects him with kindred spirits on the air. He created it as a digital watering hole, allowing people to chat on the TGIF DMR network talk group Flying Hams, 312-0664. He also created links for other modes. The Flying Hams can be found on YSF 20664 US_Flying Hams, on All-Star 515422 and Echolink AE5ME-R. The social media channel for this group is on Facebook as Flying Hams. Dan stresses that all you need to do is have an interest in machines that fly, or, as he says, things that float in the sky. Pilots and non-pilots alike are welcome to engage in the nightly rag chews in the hopes of forming a net. In the meantime, just get on the air and wing it. This is Dave Parks, WB8ODF.
And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news since 1976 at arnewsline.org.
with Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, John Williams, VK4JJW, Dave Parks, WB8ODF, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW. 7-3. We wish you Christmas blessings, and we'll see you next time here on Ham Nation. Now, here's the solar update from Dr. Tamitha Skov, WX6SWW.
Space weather this week calms down a bit compared to the big flares we had last week, but it doesn't mean that flares are completely over. In fact, as we take a look at our Earth-facing disk, we have a ton of active regions in Earth view, and we are mainly watching region 3519, 3528 and 3529 for the moment, because those are the ones that are actually popping off some big solar flares. Region 3519, in fact, is moving into that hot longitude that caused region 3514 to give us that big X-class flare. So we're going to expect some activity from this one to ramp up here over the next few days. Also, region 3528, as it's rotating to center disk, is also beginning to flare up a bit. And so that keeps us worried about this big, long filament that might go completely unstable and launch as an Earth-directed solar storm. So we're keeping big eyes on that. On top of that, we have regions 3526 and 3530. They actually might start picking up in activity when they rotate to the center disk, so we're going to keep our eyes on them as well. Meanwhile, we also are kind of calming down from some fast solar wind from this coronal hole. We also have another coronal hole that's going to be rotating into the Earth strike zone here over the next couple days. It can give us a little bit of fast solar wind. We're not expecting all that much from it, but high latitudes might be able to get a little bit of aurora. Meanwhile, we're just kind of waiting and watching to see what the rest of these regions are going to do over the next few days. We definitely have boosted that solar flux up quite a bit compared to where we've been. So amateur radio operators and emergency responders expect that we're going to be seeing a bit of radio noise on the bands, and we could still get R1 to R2 level radio blackouts over the next few days, but things should be calming down and we will get a little bit of a reprieve. And now as we take a look at our far-sighted sun, we can no longer use stereo A imagery in order to look at the sun's far side, because stereo A is looking at the front side of the sun just like we are. So we have to do a simulated far side, and that means using HMI and AIA data from about 2 weeks ago to get an idea of what type of active regions are lurking on the far side. And as we take a look at our disk, we actually see the regions that are going to be rotating into Earth view here over the next couple days are old regions 3508, 3510, and 11. In fact, region 3510 was one of the ones that gave us a lot of big R1 to R2 level radio blackouts the last time it was on the Earth-facing disk. So we're going to be curious to see whether or not it's surviving its far side passage, and it sure looks like it is. In fact, as we take a look at the JSOC HMI helioseismology far side viewer, you can actually see this group of regions 3508, 3507, and 10. You can see we've got some dark regions here, and as they continue to grow, as we take a look at the gold part, this is the far side of the sun. The silver part here, this gray region, is where the front side of the sun is. So these are the regions that are lurking on the sun's far side right now, and the dark regions show that these regions are surviving their far side passage and are actually going to be rotating into Earth view here pretty soon. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of activity on the sun's far side. And as we take a look also at regions 35, 13, and 14, remember, this is the region that gave us that big X-class flare just, this past week. And it is definitely continuing to grow on the sun's far side. So as we take a look at it, you can see it was actually not that big a deal until it started growing quite a bit as we got closer to the sun's west limb. So this region is definitely going to give us a bit more growth on the sun's far side. You can see it there growing quite a bit. And that means that it will likely, in about 10 to 11 days, it's going to be rotating back into Earth view and giving us a risk for, again, big radio blackouts. So amateur radio operators and emergency responders expect the chance for radio blackouts to increase over this next week or so, but you've got a few days of a respite before that happens. So enjoy.
Thank you very much, Dr. T, and all of the folks at Amateur Radio Newsline for the reports all year long, and especially tonight. We're so fortunate to have all of those folks working with us. And if you don't follow Dr. Skov on X, formerly Twitter, you really should. It was right there on your screen, at Tamitha Skov. She is an amazing resource, and you really should follow her. We're very fortunate to have her in the ham radio community at large and with us here on Ham Nation. A couple of other guys we've got on tonight we're very lucky to have. The Turner Boys, They're going to be talking about Winter Field Day. Best thing about Winter Field Day down here in the South? You know what that is? You know what that is, Amanda?
What?
No mosquitoes.
Along with a lot of other things I can imagine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, our boys are joining us this year from separate households. Thank you. We have Mike and Marv Turner, who have taken over Winter Field Day. They've done it for the last 2 years, I believe. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us tonight. We have W0MET and Mike, if I screw this up, I'm really sorry. I think it's W4OPS. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Woo. All right. Okay. So they're going to talk about Winter Field Day, how it's changed from last year, and all of the things. So, Mike, I'm going to go to you first. Tell us about Winter Field Day and why we should be doing it.
Well, actually, I was watching the Icom commercial earlier, and I was thinking, man, if someone gets a new Icom for Christmas, it'd be great if they could use it for Winter Field Day.
Right?
It's a perfect pair. Icom is actually one of the sponsors of a Winter Field Day with us. They support it. But Winter Field Day is basically an emergency communications exercise. And our goal is to get people out in maybe adverse conditions where it's not, 75 degrees and sunny. It could be, 6 feet of snow on the ground and sleet, rain, and 10, 20 degrees below. But we want to see if you can get out there, set up an antenna, make contacts. So if you can, participate in Winter Field Day, it's great. You can do it anywhere. You can do it at home in the comfort of your home, home if you want to. But we really encourage people to get out and, go to a community center, a church, a park, somewhere out in the open, and test your abilities. And it's really a learning exercise.
Sure. And maybe even your EOC, if they allow it, to go set up there. Marv, thanks for being here tonight in a new QTH. So I appreciate you joining us. Tell us, you're wanting people to register, right? To let everybody, kind of like the field day markers in June, you want people to let us know that they're going to be on the air. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we've had, it looks like as of today, we had about 217 people register on our Winter Field Day site. And we had about 2,300 logs. And I'll go through some stats in a second here. But we had about 2,300 people log in last year. But we know there's a whole lot more people that took participation in Winter Field Day, but they just either didn't submit a log, or they, maybe they had only 10 contacts, so they didn't feel like it was necessary to submit a log. But we really want people to register on the site. It helps people bring more awareness to, hey, there's a Winter Field Day site. Let me go visit that. And where can they go do that at? And really, you can do it in a park. You can do it in your home. You can find an open field anywhere you want to do it. But we want people to go to the Winter Field Day site and try and register on there. And we had some problems initially, but I think we've gotten through that now. And it should be working good. If you do have issues, just email us at wfda@winterfieldday.com, and we will get your ticket taken care of and get you squared away. So
sure. And I it's really easy, everybody out there watching and listening. You can just Google Winter Field Day ham radio and boom, it pops up. So you can find the contact us button, all those good things. And by the way, you already have quite a few more registers, because when I saw it this morning, it was at 199. So not too bad. It's getting up there. People are starting to get interested for sure. And as you said, Mike, I think it was you that said that at least 1,200 people operated just from home, but really not your goal for operators.
It's not our goal, and we're trying to make Winter Field Day easier for people to participate in. Not everyone's a contester, and Winter Field Day is not a contest. So the people who don't want to go through the effort of doing like a Cabrillo format and having to, fill all that and submit all that information, we're trying to change things up so we can take like an ADIF file. Last year, we introduced a new certificate, talking about certificates earlier, right? We introduced a new certificate program, and there's going to be a new one for 2023, and it's going to be a new design. So if you didn't start collecting your certificates last year, you can start this year and start collecting your certificates. So that's something new and exciting. And we just want people to participate, knowing that it's not a contest, but there are objectives And you can find the full rules and frequently asked questions on our website.
Okay, so I'm gonna just point this out here already in the chat room here. We have the question. Are you ready for the question? We knew this question was going to come up. Why no FT8?
So I'll answer that question. So when we took
Marv.
When we took over that winter field day in 2022, one of the things came up was from the prior board that we did not allow FT4 or FT8. And we've kind of said we'd keep that promise. The other aspect of it is, and I've had some either people write me an email and argue this a little bit, that there's some sources out there and ways you can still communicate a message across on FT4 and FT8. But it really does not, if you were to have a real true emergency and we wanted to use your station as a setup for that communication, FT4 and FT8 is not a great way to communicate across the board. Mike, you have anything you want to add to that too?
No. Well, okay. Yeah, I guess I do. When you're doing emergency communications, you're doing more than just, oh, hey, your signal's 5.9. Thanks for participating. Have a good day. You may be passing emergency traffic that could be, lengthy, list of supplies or something like that. And we want to encourage people to, explore and use digital modes that allow them to pass, like ICS forms, like WinLink or something like that. Something that you can pass a list off to someone. And there are other digital modes that will allow you to do that really in depth. And those should be explored. So, yeah, I mean, FT8's a valid digital mode. But it may not be the best mode for emergency communications.
And gentlemen, I'm hands down with you on this, and I'm going to tell you why. For anybody that's actually done real life emergency communications such as I have, it is not just about a signal report. You don't want to know that the shelter across the state can just hear you. You actually do need to pass traffic, and you do need to pass along maybe a 213 of requests, and that's where I'm with you on this. WinLink would be much more of a better consideration for an emergency communications scenario. So we're not just going to establish communications, we're establishing it for a request or a check-in. So you need to be able to put in something more than an RR 599. Okay. So
yeah, we're not doing this to be, just to be mean about this. We're doing it because we really want to truly, have that ability for people to communicate. And I saw that message pop up, Josh. Thank you. JSA is actually a great winter field day protocol, a digital mode that you can use along with RTTY, Olivia. All those are just fine. PSK 31, FL Digi. You want to run those modes, run them all day long. It's perfectly fine. No problems there at all. So we're happy to have those run. And again, one of the things I want to focus on and look at is we've got our objectives this year. We kind of took away some of the bonus points. We've made them objectives. And one of those being WinLink and being able to set up that connection and make that, whether you do it over 2 meters or you do it over or VHF or over HF, we don't care which way you do it, but can you set up a WinLink connection from your computer and send that email somewhere and get a message back? So
nice. Yeah. And there's several close-in stations. If you're just getting into WinLink, you need to learn about propagation if you really want to do it straight RF. So you need to know what stations on the list that you might want to try to work or send the message through, right? Depending on if you're on 40, 20, 10, those kind of things. And there's lots of beacons that will help you figure out who you can talk to.
Yeah, it's not as simple as you may think it is.
It's not. It takes a little bit of, guess what? It takes science. Gordo, you're with me on this.
Oh, I am. Absolutely.
It does. It takes a lot of science and trials and tribulations as well. So, well, let's talk about the fun stuff. I mean, okay, everyone's mad that you can't do FT8, but they're still going to want to participate. That's great. Now, do you have anything for like wackiest setup or, is there anything like that? Or you just want to see all the pictures of what everyone's doing to work field day?
Well, we do have we're on, all the social media things. So
okay.
We have a Discord account, we have a Twitter account, and we have a Facebook group. And we love it when people, get on the Facebook group. They share, the pictures of their setup and stuff like that. And we actually put out a newsletter every year. I think we're behind this year, but we have a newsletter that comes out right before Winter Field Day, and it will have articles in there, recipes in there. For those of you who want to do chili on Winter Field Day, and we include pictures as well. So
great
pictures on the Facebook page. You can add us on Twitter, join the Discord group. On the Discord group, we actually have a beta testing session because we are trying to, do new things and, push the boundaries a little bit, right? That's what ham radio is all about, is just push the boundaries. So we have a beta test group on the Discord that people can join and, get a little bit behind the scenes of what may be coming in the future.
Okay.
And sometimes we try and do things on the website. We try to break things.
Okay.
So if we're going to launch a new feature, we try and get people to, just give us gobs of information to see if we can break it before we actually launch it live.
Well, if you don't break it, then you don't know how to fix it. Okay. So 2 things here. First of all, what is your what's your hashtag for Winter Field Day? Is it like WFD 2024? What would you 2023?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Okay.
No,
all right.
2024. You're right.
I was going to say, I'm like, we're going to have a problem in a second. Chat's going to explode. You did it.
Yeah, you can find us on Twitter. It's at Winter Field Day.
Okay.
And you can find us there. It's pretty easy.
But you'll probably just see like hashtag ham radio, hashtag WFD 2024, WFD maybe. But if you have a certain one, make sure you put that out there on Facebook. If we had one, we would
prefer it be WFD 24.
24. Okay.
Yeah, WFD 24.
Okay. Second thing, when is this? When's this happening?
Don't ask me. I just got the year messed up.
So I'll take that. So we have it January 27th and 28th. It should be right there on the front of our on our website. It should be find it right at the very beginning at winterfieldday.com. Okay. And so there we go, Josh. Thank you. And again, you've got a big thing right there. You can register for us and, get right up there on your site, kind of go through. And if you go over to the, I believe it's the rules page, Josh, real quick, it should be, maybe it's under, let me go right there, right under the red. It says download the 2024 operating guide for the Winter Field Day event. And that's our full packet right there. And that's kind of all of our operating rules and things like that you can find and find everything in there that you need to know. If you have questions about something, feel free to email us. We do get back with you. It was a few day delay here while I was moving from Tennessee to Massachusetts, but I think we're getting back into some of those emails and getting them answered now. So we should be good there.
And there's quite the lively chat on Facebook, so you can maybe find information or misinformation as far as I've seen. But I think that's a perfectly good place to go and post a question, and most of your peers will answer them for you. So Marv, you have a slideshow to show us.
I can do a couple things. I can see if I can screen share this real quick.
We'll talk. So Mike, while he's bringing that up, people are seriously talking about pizza on the propane tank. Do I need to know about this?
I'm not quite sure on that one.
Okay.
Maybe I need to go back and look at the Facebook group again.
Josh, did that come up?
Yeah, I see your desktop.
Okay, perfect.
You just got to bring up the slides. I don't see them on the...
We got it. I got it.
Maybe it's there.
I see a nice, glorious field.
Oh, let me check I wonder why it's...
Do you have 2 monitors? Drag those slides
I
over.
do. It must be switch screen or window here. Let me try this one.
So that's where I would like to be for Winter Field Day.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, right?
I'd like to be in that vineyard. I, too, would like to be there.
I do have an AI picture.
I do have
we'll just bypass that, but what I'll do, Amanda,
yes, sir.
I'll just go through it real quick. Again, I'm Marvin Turner, W0MT is the president. James Copeland, KD0ICP is our secretary. Melinda Birchfield, KC4CCL out of Chattanooga is our treasurer. Of course, Michael, W4OPS, he's our creative services manager, does all the kind of the website, the rules, the certificate creation.
Wait, can I stop you?
Yep.
Michael, you want to talk about the certificate?
Yeah, just real quick, like I mentioned earlier, there's a brand new certificate program because people chase wallpaper, right? You want to be able to have something that you can hang in your ham shack and print off, something you can put in your scrapbook. We started it last year, and you can still go on the website and get your certificate from last year. If you participated, go download your certificate from the website. This year is going to be a brand new design. Next year is going to be another brand new design. So each year will be just a little bit different. So if you're into collecting QSL cards and certificates, 13 colonies, and you do stuff like that, Museumships Weekend, if that's your thing you like to do, then Winter Field Day has a certificate that you definitely want to get your hands on.
That's sweet. And I think you guys have some merch too, right?
We do have some merchandise. So
yeah.
I do a lot of graphic design myself. I own Club Gear Online. I do a lot of POTA merchandise and mouse pads and keychains and stuff like that. We're growing the Winter Field Day stuff. Maybe thinking about coming out with a new shirt design each year. But if you go to winterfieldday.com and you go to is it shop? I believe there's a shop tab, and you can go down to JSE Repair. They do some really fine embroidery on jackets and shirts, and their stuff looks really good too. And then you can also get Winter Field Day flags, mugs. You get a Winter Field Day mug with the bear logo on it and your call sign on it.
I saw the flags. I thought that was the coolest. Okay, Marv, continue on.
Yep, and then one more person, I won't leave him out. He would be upset if I left him out, was Jason Johnston, KC5HWB, and he does our social media, Ham Radio 2.0. So, and then the other thing I kind of wanted to go through was just kind of some interesting stats that we've had from 2023. I mentioned earlier we had about 2,300 logs submitted last year, and that was with over 296,071 QSOs. So,
wow,
a lot of contacts made in those logs. We had 19,636 different call signs. 7,041 contacts were in the logs, but they weren't claimed. And then Ohio was the most active state with 104 stations on the air. And then this is the most, I'll call it my disturbing part of my side of things from the Winter Field Day. In running this organization, it was home is the most popular category, which had about, I think, 1,296 users working about 4.4 hours. The whole goal and our purpose, again, of Winter Field Day is to be able to get you outside of your home, outside of that comfort zone, and to be able to set up a station remotely operating outside of your normal workstation. So, and then my last thing real quick is before the questions come in, most popular logging software is N3FJP, and always check about a week before before Winter Field Day, whether you're using N1MM, M3FJP, something like that. Hammers, I haven't seen them produce an updated one, but we have somewhere between, we'll call those three softwares. There's a couple others that people will use, but those are our three main ones. People are using about 15 different versions between those three softwares. Some of them may be 4 or 5 years old, and so they're not updating to the latest N3FJP software. So my thing to everybody out there who may participate in Winter Field Day is please make sure you update to the latest software prior to Winter Field Day of whatever software you're using, because they will have our latest objectives and things in there and points scoring that we have made changes to for each year. So
I'm most surprised by Ohio was the most activated state.
North Carolina was the year before. That was the most active
I don't
state.
even know why. I find that surprising, but I do.
Because it sounds like it would be a cold place to be.
I know, right?
But those are the type of stats and things that part of registering your location is we get those type of stats. We get that information and we can drive some of that data from that we see on our back end from people registering and doing the logs and contacts and how many contacts were busted because they didn't make a full call sign exchange. It was maybe like, N1MM and N1MN instead, they used they had a different call letter in there for some reason. So
sure.
I will do a shout out to this guy because when we took over Winter Field Day, we got in touch with a guy named Andrew, and he is just an absolutely amazing website designer, but he's also kind of a data analyst. And the data that he collects and in the back end, the data that we bring in and we track is just absolutely amazing. And I can't say enough good things about Andrew. He's not an official member of the board, but he's highly valued in doing everything. Last year, we had this really clunky system for adding your location, and it showed like every single pin at once. And now, you can zoom in and the pins are clumped together. And when you zoom in, closer, they get clumped together. And it just makes the whole system faster, more user-friendly. There's areas on the back end where we can go and add like frequently asked questions that people have. And there's a lot of data out there that we collect. So, we appreciate, like, if someone submits their, log or their report at the end of a winter field day, and when they turn in their Cabrillo format or their ADIF file, we take that information, we cross-reference it with everyone else. It seems like a lot of people are concerned about points, where, we take that data and we're looking at other things. And now we're going to be measuring objectives. So if we have 6 objectives and you achieved all 6 of them, that's 100%, objectives complete. If we have 10 objectives and you only complete 7 of them, that's 70% objectives complete. So it really gives you a basis of next year and be like, okay, well, maybe I can get all 100% objectives complete this year. And it gives you a way to start measuring yourself from year to year, as opposed to, oh, yeah, I made 50,000 points last year. Let's see if I can make 55,000 this year.
So give me an example of an objective that would be different from, the summer field day.
So this year, one of our objectives in the newest objective is to just make a winter field day contact.
Okay.
A lot of our bonus points, so you'd have bonus points for using a generator, bonus points for making a satellite contact. A lot of those bonus points now became objectives. So there's no bonus points. You don't just get bonus points, and there's no participation trophies, but there's objectives. And, you can get those objectives, and making a satellite contact has now become an objective.
Okay. Well, that's great, though. I mean, because it's more, I think you take it to a more personal level of what they can do personally. Now, mind you, tell me this. Since you had a lot of home stations, is there anything a home station can do to go outside of the box? Can we set up maybe a buddy pool in our backyard and a battery power to help in winter field day?
So in the rules, it's similar to summer field day, which we're trying to get away from a little bit. Because, people think winter field days, an ARRL thing as well, and it's not. It's the Winter Field Day Association. We put it on, so it's totally separate. But a lot of similarities exist. So you have to be, 500 feet away from your home.
Okay.
So if you have, a friend down the road or something down the road, you can go set up at. You can do that. Right now, this year, it states that all your stations have to be within 1,000-foot circle. But I'm thinking in the future, it'd be great if we had an objective that said, set up 3 stations, a mile apart from each other, and have some kind of a relay system. So it's just something where, what can we do to make the objectives a little bit different each year so that people are pushing their boundaries each year?
I love that idea.
And it's something that becomes more MCOM, something you may have to set up at a church, at a school, and at your EOC, and relay, this message back and forth using WinLink.
Sure.
That's a viable scenario.
Think about a hurricane. So a hurricane, there might be somebody at a church or a school where people have come to take shelter, but it's not an actual shelter. So they're talking back to an EOC, or maybe there's a home relay station in between trying to help out, because they're the strongest signal and they can pick up both stations, but the 2 stations can't pick up each other. So if you think about real life scenario, those are the things that can happen.
And those are the things where you're going to see it become an objective. And
Sure.
It's just like, okay, well, now you have this totally random objective for, this year. And it's just kind of like, I'm going to throw you in left field and be like, oh, can we achieve that? Like, can we do that as a club? Can we do that individually?
Sure.
Can I get together with a couple of my friends and accomplish that objective? Let's see. So it's less about points and less about being a contest, and just more about, are you prepared to do something out of the ordinary that you're not used to should you have to.
Yeah, I love it. And I love everything you guys are aiming towards, and I think this is great. So it's not first of all, it does take some pre-planning, but it can also be on a whim. Like you could just wake up in the morning and like, babe, I'm going out. I'm going to do some winter field day, and you're going to take your buddy pole and your 705 and maybe a cooler full of some food, and you're good to go, and see how long you can last out there. There should be that endurance challenge too.
We do get a lot of naysayers, that are saying, what about our bonus points, and what, this is a contest and this, that, next thing. And so we do get some of those people that come out saying that. And we're going to make some people happy. We're going to make some real people really mad and torqued off. But I mean, it's really about just trying to increase your personal opportunity to be able to operate in extreme conditions, absolutely. and just outside of your normal conditions of your comfortability of your home. And I do want to say, Michael, thank you for bringing up Andrew with our webmaster. Yeah, with his business is AJK Services out of Ohio. I'll put a capital plug in for him there, and so we do appreciate him very much and being part of what he does to help us out. And I just want to say thank you for all our board members and what they do, and I want to just really appreciate what they help out with out through the year. And we will try and get that newsletter out here probably the beginning of January.
Very good.
Here in the next couple of weeks. So,
and we also want to. Go ahead. Amanda, we also want to shout out to Ham Nation, and of course, Josh for hosting Ham Nation and letting us be on. We appreciate the invite every year, and we're glad that we get to watch it throughout the year as well. So it's a very valuable resource to the amateur radio community, guys. Keep it up.
Well, you guys are valuable. Yeah, I mean, you're doing this, and it's your blood, sweat, and tears, mind you, and not a lot of appreciation, and more. You're doing it just to make sure that it keeps going, and we appreciate that. And this is something new, to me, at least. I have only been a home station. I've never gone out in the field. It's always been a busy month for me. I know, right?
I mean, we have indoor. You can operate your EOC. I mean, you can go outdoors. You can work mobile if you want to be.
Maybe I'll go out to my comm van.
I mean, there's other opportunities. You can be, just if you get a cargo trailer, you go to work in a tent, you can do mobile. So, I mean, it is possible to do other modes or other locations, so.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I thank you guys for being here. And I hope this gets everybody encouraged to get out there. And you don't have to do it the whole 24 hours.
That's right.
That's the thing. Josh, are you going to participate this year?
I am absolutely participating this year. In fact, my whole club is. We've got a campsite booked. Stay tuned, everybody. We've got a group campsite booked. I may have extra spaces for folks that are, in the YouTube community that might want to come out. It is going to be in Southern California, so I'm sorry it won't be very winter-y, but we're sure going to be off-grid. It'll be properly off-grid. I would just like to remind everybody. I don't know. There was I don't take any of your comments the wrong way. If it's not your cup of tea, it's fine. But like the point of this is for. Take field day, right? Field day is already an off-grid. That's the idea, at least anyway, is to encourage people to do that, to get into the field. Well, this is just that with more of an even more practical emergency communication kind of bend to it. You want to use modes and capabilities that will allow you to facilitate the transfer of information in an emergency situation. That is the goal. That is the whole goal. And I love the objectives that they're doing. I'm going to pull the website up again because I thought it was really cool. Look at the objectives that they have here. Make a satellite contact. Operate on 6 different bands. Really important. Do a WinLink email. 6 hours of continuous operation. Those are all things that, like, if your own ham self had the capability of doing all of that, you'd be a fairly squared together and put away ham from my point of view. Right?
And I'm gonna stress on that a little bit more. I have, I'm a section manager for the ARRL here in Colorado, so I have a lot of OESs, emergency stations. Can they actually do that?
Right. Good challenge.
Probably
tell them to go do this.
I should probably go sit in on their station and see if they could actually do some of those things, because that's what's actually necessary, is to be able to withstand 6 hours with no power.
Yeah.
Be able to actually pass traffic, be able to relay, be able to receive traffic, not just pass it, and all of those good things. So it's.
And I think one of the big things is like, Gordon said earlier, is you have solar things that, come up and disrupt the bands. So if you're like a 20 meter, 40 meter person, and that's all you operate on, and something happens during a solar flare, like, are you able to get on 15 meters? Are you able to do VHF, UHF, 220?
Yeah. Got to know why to switch the bands, right?
Well, and then there's invis. If you have to talk to someone in close, I mean, you're going to 80. I mean, so do you have the antenna for that? Things like that. So.
Yeah. So like you said, you don't have to operate the 24 hours, but in the event of emergency, you may be sat down in front of a radio and they're like, hey, talk on the radio. Someone's going to come, in 10, 12 hours and relieve you. Are you prepared to mentally, sit there in front of a radio for 6 hours and, constantly make contacts? And you don't even have to make contacts. We just want you to be monitoring the radio in case, EOC or someone needs to call you, you're able to pick up the microphone and talk to them.
And then in the last hurricanes, let's just put that as an example. Some people had to sit near a radio for 72 hours. So
that's crazy. That's
before power was back up for most people and they got cell phones or cows came in. If no one knows what a cow is, it's a portable repeater for cell phones, those kind of things until they can get those deployed. So you can depend on more time if the emergency actually arises. So
so we put 6 hours as an objective. I'd forgotten about that one. That was a brand new objective for this year.
Yeah,
I'm glad you pointed that out.
Me too. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Everybody follow them on Facebook and follow them on X, previously known as Twitter. And I can't wait. Now 5 weeks away. So everybody get your plans in place. Sketch it out there for you. And anything else you guys want to add before we wrap it up here?
Don't forget to register on our website. And then, again, we are a kind of a self-funded organization. We do appreciate Icom's help, but if you can make a donation to our site once in a while too, that does help. We do have, again, webmaster costs and hosting sites, and
sure.
We got to maintain all that on the back end. So it's a nonprofit. You can donate to us. So we appreciate that. And again, thank you guys all, and appreciate everyone out there in the ham radio community that does participate in Winter Field Day. And we look forward to hearing from you. And again, seeing you on Discord or Facebook, reach out to me, however, and we'll, certainly answer your questions and help you out to get all those questions answered that you might have.
Perfect. Thank you, gentlemen. Merry Christmas to you both.
Thank you.
Great job, guys.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
you. And Merry Christmas,
Thank you.
y'all.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, Josh, I'm going to go over the nets here, and then we have a special thing that I put in the doc.
You're not going to get me in trouble, right? I'm not going to get a content strike, right, for this? I saw it.
Did you?
Am I okay? Am I okay?
Oh, no. It's Bob Heil's organ music. If there's a copyright on it, it's fine.
Oh, that he's okay. He can copyright strike me. No one. I don't want anybody else copyright striking me other than Bob.
No. Goodness.
I think you're safe with Heil.
It's not Dolly Parton.
I just saw the link and I was like, Amanda's sending me some link to a potentially strikeable video music.
It's like you don't even know me. Okay. All right. So let's get to the nets first because they've already started rolling for about 18 minutes now. So don't forget, we have D-Star on 14 Charlie. We have 7192 for the 40 meter. And Steve, K7UDI, I don't know where he is. He could be on 20, 14, 268 thereabouts. If he's on 80, I don't know what frequency he goes to there, but he should be on 80 is what I guess. But I have not received an email back from him, so I don't know. So with that, everybody, we all get to say this. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. So thanks for being with us this whole year. I'd like to thank Josh for hosting us once again this year. It's been a crazy ride. I had a Facebook memory about when we closed up from Twit, and you know what? I have no regrets.
Oh, that's so nice.
No regrets.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say
I love
that.
it so much more.
Oh my
Honestly,
gosh.
I do.
Oh, that means a lot. Oh, you're gonna make me
So,
cry.
Gordo,
Thank you.
take it away.
All I have to say is happy holidays all. And Josh, You are so important for us to continue on. Thank you. And Amanda, great hostess.
Yes, indeed. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for Amanda, truly.
That's true.
We'd all go crazy and get up. Literally go nuts if it wasn't for Amanda with the show.
I just
so
snorted. Okay, Don.
Well, I'll tell you that for me, family is everything around the holidays. And we just a few months ago, my lovely wife lost her mom, so it's going to be an interesting Christmas. In fact, we just celebrated what would have been her birthday on Monday, the 18th. So Monday Christmas without Sandra is going to be different, just as it was different a couple of years ago without her dad, Lou. But, a family is all here. Her brother from Arizona just left. But I guess the point of this is because it's all family. Josh, we're all a family, too, the Ham Nation family. And just the whole ham radio family hobby at large. We're all interested in the same things and striving to do the same things and trying to help each other and make the world a better place. And that is what it's all about. And so I am exceedingly proud to be a part of just all of this, of the Ham Nation family, the Amateur Radio Newsline family, the Ham Radio family. And, I'm just particularly thankful for that. So there you go.
You're so sweet.
Very nice. Very nice.
Who paid you to say that?
Nobody.
That's great. Well, I
wore the hat for Ray, though. That's your Christmas
present. Yeah,
there
you go.
Thank you, Ray.
So I don't know how this is gonna work. I've got it queued up here. So let's see. We're
Okay.
still here. We're not going anywhere. But let's see how this plays. That's definitely it, right?
I don't hear it, so.
Oh, that's right, because of the whole Skype change for audio.
If you guys Santa's coming to town or something, let us know.
Yep, it's playing. I didn't know there was a percussive element there. He had a tambourine or something kind of thing, and then that drum at the end. That was super cool.
Just classic.
Oh,
that's awesome.
That's great.
He shared those
right
organ songs, and last year he had a Zoom, and he played, or maybe it was 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago during the height of COVID,
Yeah.
and it was really fun to watch him. So thank you, everybody, for enjoying
something else. Something else to be thankful for is his returning health, because this time last year he was in pretty bad shape, and his health, he's like 90-something% back. So so there you go.
I think he's home for Christmas. Yay!
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think right, because we mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, a couple of episodes ago, so that'd be multiple weeks by now. But he'd be home. One last thing, and that's my it. I forgot to mention it earlier, but this is literally the last couple of days to enter into the contest to win some awesome radios. I hit 300,000 subscribers, and I really just appreciate you guys and want to do something to give back a little bit. So we're doing a big giveaway. I'm giving away a Icom 705, a Yaesu FTDX10, a Mobilink TNC3. I've got 2 PowerFilm solar panels that I'm giving away. And I think I've got some other stuff too. I've got to actually start turning over some rocks. I think I got like 1 or 2 other things. But The link is in the description to enter into that contest. And this is it, because I'm going to be picking the winners on Saturday this week with the Christmas line antenna. So
nice.
You can't do any better than blowing up Christmas lights with RF and then giving away a bunch of radios. So make sure you take the link in the description and join us over there. And also check the link in the description and go check out the Icom website for Ham Nation and make sure you enter that as well. Because again, they're giving away radios and swag packs. So why not?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Sorry for the stuttering there on the frames. I hope it sorts itself out after I end live stream, but we'll see. Otherwise, I have to repost it. But we appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful rest of the holiday season, because we won't talk to you, I guess, until next year. So
it'll be, that's exactly, January.
Yeah.
January 3rd.
There you go. Well, we'll be back then. Until then, 73, everybody. See ya.
7-3.
Good night. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Wrong song, but you know what? We'll go with it. I don't know why it switched. Oh, man.
It was still a
issues.
good song.
It's my favorite song. Thank you, Sonic D, for making that music for us.